Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show, we're taking you from start to finish as we head out on a clamming adventure on the shores of Assateague. Don't have any gear? Well, Willie didn't either. We'll show you where to get outfitted, then rake up some dinner. Then we'll head for some deeper water as we lower the bait, try to crank up some crustaceans in Chesapeake country.
That's what I've been trying to catch.
Plus, the 2012 White Marlin Open is right around the corner. We'll preview this summer showdown by recapping last year.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. And now, here's Captain Willie.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. We'll be checking in with my partner Mike Parker in just a few minutes. You know, we found ourselves dead in the middle of a hot Delmarva summer, trying to find something that combined the relief of getting in the water with a little bit of the thrill of hunting for our supper. As it turns out, the Sinnapuxet Bay here, right behind Assateague Island, is the whole enchilada. Today we're going to be on the hunt for these little guys. Clamming here on Delmarva is a summer tradition that's been around for eons. You take the whole family from youngest to oldest and you really get a feel for how bountiful our peninsula is. If you've never enjoyed this peaceful pastime before, we're going to show you just how easy it can be. All you need is yourself and a desire to get outdoors, Delmarva. Everything else is just finding out where to go and what kind of equipment can help in the hunt. Our first step is going to be to check in with Dave Wilson, the Executive Director of the Maryland Coastal Bays Program, to find out a little something about our quarry.
Oh, come on in. Hey, Captain Willie.
Good morning, Dave. Okay, Dave, tell us something about these clams that we're going to be looking for today.
Well, we're going to look for a variety of clams today. We're going to be looking for little necks, we're going to be looking for top necks, we're going to be looking for some good chowder clams. So we're going to do a variety today.
Why is it these coastal bays are such good areas for clamming?
Well, the salinity is perfect. We have an inlet in the north, we have an inlet in the south. They really like those high salinities, pretty close to ocean water. And so the clams really thrive in that really nice sandy bottom. And of course, Ocean City being the barrier island and northern part of the coastal bays, and then Assateague in the southern coastal bays. So right behind those two islands, the best clamming.
So where are we going to start today?
We're going to try that nice sandy soil behind Assateague, or we're going to try our hand at some clamming right there in the wild part of Worcester County.
Good deal. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're down right at the edge of the Sinnapuxet Bay, and it's time for step 2, find out what the tools of the trade are. Most everything you'll need for a day of clamming can be found for rent at outfitters in and around the coastal bays, such as this one on Assateague Island, managed by the Coastal Bays Program.
The nice thing about clamming is you don't need too much. Basically, you need a float or a bag, and this is a float. Basically, you tie it to yourself and let it kind of float around. You get a clam, you put it in a bucket. You need a clam rake, and what you do is you're going to put this in the ground and drag it along until you feel something hit those tongs, and you're going to basically just kind of dig it up.
And if you don't have a clam rake, let's take a look at these other tools that you can use in their place.
My feet work very well for clamming. I just sort of dig them in there and see what I can find, and it's a great way to feel clams. Sometimes when the rakes don't work too well, feet always work. We're going to take canoes out to the site where we want to go. Sometimes it's fun to get out to those sites where, you know, not everyone goes to. So we're going to canoe out to the site, and we're going to put on our life preservers, which is Maryland regulation, and canoe on out there and see what we can find. Well, we're actually headed south down Sinnapuxet Bay. We're going to go to a nice remote spot right down here in the bay where we can find a nice long sandy beach just off the end of some nice marsh here down near Old Ferry Landing Road.
I'm fastening my float to my waist so that I have a place to put my clams and so it won't get away while I'm on the hunt. Apparently there are no style points in this. You can stand in one place and kind of cover the whole area, or just put your rake down and wander around. Either one works just as well.
First clam of the day.
A little chowder clam here. Not something you want to steam up. You'll be chewing for a half hour on this one, but if you steam it up or put it in chowder, it's perfect. You just cut them up and just as good as the little guys.
That's my first. He's a little bit bigger than a cherry stone and a little bit smaller than a chowder clam, but we'll find a place on the menu for him somewhere.
So I got all these 2 in 1 scoop out there. I want to measure this one just to make sure it isn't chowder here. To kind of measure the width, is take a little, cut out something that's plastic or hard plastic, and kind of look and see that's just a little small. See that needs to be an inch. This clam is not big enough to keep, just a little bit short. It's got to be that thickness. It's got to be an inch. So we're going to let this one go and let him reproduce for another day, or her.
You can harvest up to 250 clams per day in Maryland, and you don't need a permit or license. Now that may seem like a lot of clams, but when you consider that during the summer spawning season, clams can produce between 16 and 24 million eggs, that puts things in perspective. And they'll need all their numbers because clams fall prey to a variety of predators, including gulls, cow-nosed rays, blue crabs, and certain people familiar with the flying of helicopters. But if they survive the odds, a clam can live up to 40 years. These 60 that we've harvested in just under an hour, however, are going to be tomorrow's lunch. Got a few steamers, 2 of these nice little guys, and the rest are chowder clams of one size or another, from the mediums to the large to the grand champion of them all. But for the peace and tranquility and just the sheer enjoyment of Delmarva's pristine coastal bays, nothing, and I mean nothing, can beat the pursuit of the humble clam.
Get outdoors, Delmarva! Still to come on Outdoors Delmarva. We're not done with those clams just yet. A little bit later, we'll see what a local chef can do with them. And next, we're headed out on the Choptank River, where it's time again to see what we can catch on the crab cam.
But first, did you know? The species name for the common hard clam is Mercenaria mercenaria. What is the origin and the meaning of this name? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, and Shooter's Choice. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
If we could find a taxidermist that does clams, we might actually get him stuffed.
Did you know?
Early Native Americans made wampum out of the purple part of the clamshell, and it was essential for trade. The word mercenaria comes from the Latin word for commerce. Mercenaria mercenaria. Sounds like money to me.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. Well, it's been an interesting few weeks here on the show. We've been spending some time on the water doing some, well, just a lot of fun stuff. I mean, Captain Willie just showed us the ins and outs and a how-to of clamming out on Assateague. Last week, if you watched the show, we were over at the Horn Point Laboratory featuring their oyster restoration program. And right now, I'm here out on the Choptank River in Dorchester County doing a little bit of good old-fashioned crabbing. Yeah, it's kind of a last-minute trip. Didn't know if we'd be able to make it out here on a Tuesday afternoon because we had a rash of thunderstorms in the area. But thanks to my friend Tom Phillips, we decided to brave the elements, try to find a couple of keepers to fill the bushel baskets.
We've got an outgoing tide this evening, and we've been dodging a few storms, but we think the sun's going to come out now.
The plan for this particular afternoon was pretty basic. bait up about 22 recreational crab pots with some greasy old chicken necks and deploy them down a line.
About 11 feet right now.
Starting in some of the deeper water just below the Route 50 bridge in Cambridge.
And give them some soak time, as they say.
Now, if Tom looks familiar, that's because he's a familiar crabbing partner for us here on the show. And last year, along with Tom's buddy Kevin, we did a little two-method adventure, both wading in the bay grass with nets around the docks at St. Michael's, and then hopping in the boat for some similar style crab potting out on the Miles River. If you remember, I talked the guys into something a little fun all on its own, debuting our underwater crab cam, which worked nicely, settling down to the river bottom and eventually giving us a great perspective on the surprise that this female crab must have experienced when we yanked her away from her chicken dinner.
She is on video, okay? We have her on. We have the female on surveillance.
The key on this is the angle. Last time I thought it was good, and then when it dropped down to the bottom, it made that sound. It was pretty great, but when it got down there, it kind of angled down.
Down, right.
Now, you know we were going to have to do it again this time now. But you'll notice as we send the crab cam to the bottom of the Choptank, it's a little deeper and a little darker down below. But as we let this special pot soak for a bit, it's still visible, and we're hoping for a keeper.
Do something in here. Maybe a jellyfish or a small crab. Okay, there's one. Got no claws. I see that a lot on the Choptank River for some reason.
With one line set in the deeper water and one in the shallows a little closer to shore, and with Tom pulling double duty so I can film, our first run is a mixed bag. A few borderline keepers, which we'll keep around to check in a minute, mixed with some obvious throwbacks.
Okay, little guy. I'm gonna let him go. He's too small.
And this time, nothing on the crab cam.
Oh, Mike, maybe I'm talking trash too soon.
For our second run, I'll be pulling pots and hoping to match Tom's first run total of 5 keepers. And check this out. Watch the crab cam as this male is digging into the chicken neck. There's some awesome power in those claws. And he's unaffected by the sound of the boat approaching or the shadow we cast from above. When suddenly, we've got him. And as we get him to the boat, he's an obvious keeper.
Good job, Blake. He's on the crab cam. See it?
With storms in the area, each minute is precious, and so is the fading sunlight. But with our pots now in place downriver a bit along an underwater ledge, you can definitely hear the excitement in Tom's voice when we finally start pulling up crabs with some size and in numbers.
That's what I've been trying to catch. I mean, it's just amazing, but he will make it.
For a trip that was threatened by severe weather and hampered by a slow start, our final tally of nearly 3 dozen crabs in just a couple of hours isn't the best or the worst we'll ever do. But as the sun sets over the Choptank River, you really can't do any better than this.
So Mike and I came out this evening for our annual crabbing trip to get together and try to catch a few nice cool temperatures. We caught some crabs, so we had some good eating. And, just another good reason to get outdoors now, Marvin.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, we're going to take those clams we just captured to a local chef and cook up something special for lunch.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. Just a few minutes ago, you saw us catch some clams in the Cinnapuxon Bay behind Assateague. But we've brought them here to Sobo's restaurant in Salisbury, where Chef Danny Jacinto is going to cook up a couple tasty dishes for us. What do you think of that collection of clams we brought you?
They're pretty nice.
Okay, so what are you going to do with those clams today?
Today I'm going to make 2 dishes. baked stuffed clams, and the other one's gonna be a nice like summer clam pasta. Anybody can do it at home too, it's not that hard. This is some nice fresh made pappardelle pasta.
This is the first time I've ever tasted fresh pasta cooked up.
It's just so much better, so we'll let that sit. For this dish, summertime, fresh, you know, you wanna use a little extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of garlic here. Tomatoes. Those are our just red chili flakes. Smaller guys that you guys brought me. Here's the white wine. So we'll hit this, then we're just gonna take these, cover them up like that, steam them up. They're starting to open up now. Just hit it with a little lemon, just to give it that pop.
Yeah.
Fresh pasta has so much more starch in it than dried pasta. So it's literally gonna make this sauce taste like it's creamy, but we're not gonna put any cream in it.
Oh, really?
Chopped parsley, salt it, kind of let it get in. Captain Willie, would you like to do the honors and get the first little taste of that sauce? Boy, that's clammy, huh? Ooh. Finish this dish, butter. And I mean butter. Pile him right on here. This is a 16-month-old grated parm. Leftover EVOO you guys have. And that's it, man. That's summertime clam pasta. Really simple, really good, delicious.
Chef Danny Jacinto.
The perks of the job, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is.
All right, so let's make our stuffing now. So now let's take a little bit of butter. Take some of your onions here, add your peppers, celery.
I'm already getting the aroma here.
Yeah, your jowls should be really working right now. This is ground chorizo. We don't want all that grease though. So I'm just gonna kind of pull it out of the pan. Sausage and peppers mixture here. And then the 6 largest clams ever.
So there is something you can do, those big old things.
Steam them, boil them up, and just chop them up. All the flavor is gonna come after we start to cook everything. Breadcrumbs. These are panko, so we'll mix that up right there. There's a lemon here. The reserved liquid from boiling your clams. Don't be afraid to use your hands. You gotta make your food with love. Take a little pat of butter in here.
We were going to get it stuffed at a taxidermist, but I think this stuff will do just as well.
Consider me a clam taxidermist for today, I guess. And there you go, man. Just like that. Wrap, wrap. And you can freeze these too. 500 degrees, 10-15 minutes in there, and they'll be good to go. All right, clam pasta. We got stuffed clams.
Oh, great. Now, with all those different sizes of clams we brought in, Chef Danny Jacinto has made 2 beautiful summer clam dishes. You're going to want to try them again and again. Danny, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, the sun is shining, the flowers are in bloom, and the 2013s are on the lot. We'll show you around this Subaru Outback Special Edition when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, back here again with our friends at Gateway Subaru right along Route 13 in Del Mar, Maryland. Higher standards when it comes to buying that new car. Well, it's a beautiful time of year. The summer sun is shining, the flowers are in bloom, and take a look. The 2013s are on the lot. Joining us right now to talk about them, Steve Wergen with Gateway Subaru. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Mike.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a great time driving our 2012 Outback for the past year or so, but tell me about the 2013.
2013 Outback has a couple things that are different on the outside. New headlight design. The chrome grille has been increased in size. Also, what I love, Mike, is the new fog lights. Look at the size of these things.
All right, Steve, well, those are features you're going to find on all of the new 2013 Outbacks, but this is a special edition.
Subaru has a new package available. It's called the Saddle Brown Leather. The fun begins inside. Look at this interior, Mike. Brown leather stitched interior that's available. Special edition wood grain. Push button start. We also have a large information screen that's push button. It also shows your backup camera. We also have a Harman Kardon sound system.
Inside, you've got your USB auxiliary plug, 12-volt power port,
memory seating for 2 drivers.
So you're telling me, Steve, you've taken the Outback, one of the most rugged vehicles on the road ever, and now made it one of the most luxurious too.
We've got the best of both worlds.
Well, when you're talking about the Outback, you've got to talk about cargo space and versatility. Steve, best cars around for those quick trips to the store, also really geared up for the weekend warrior.
And new for 2013 is the rubberized seat backing. So when you put your seats down, all around protection, all you gotta do is wipe it out and you're ready for work on Monday.
Dog proof. And don't forget, up to 34 miles per gallon on the highway. And what makes a Subaru? Symmetrical all-wheel drive. All right, Steve Wergen with Gateway Subaru. Always great to see you.
Thanks, Mike.
Really impressed with this 2013 Subaru Outback. If you're looking for that perfect vehicle that fits your active lifestyle, fun, family, outdoor adventure, come and visit our friends here at Gateway Subaru on Route 13 in Delmar, Maryland. Higher standards. And we'll be right back.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Shorts Marine. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, and Shooter's Choice.
Well, Mike, before we get to this week's viewer pictures, we want to remind the folks about a big event that's happening in Ocean City in just a couple days.
Hey, you must be talking about the 39th annual White Marlin Open, Willie. And if you remember from last year, really 2 boats walked away big winners. The crew of the We-1-4, more than $200,000 for catching the biggest white marlin of the week. But also the crew of the Tighten Up actually caught the 2nd place biggest marlin, walked away with the most money because of entering all of the Calcuttas. So hopefully we're looking forward to some more drama at this year's edition of the White Marlin Open, and hopefully seeing some of our friends down at the weigh scales at Harbor Island.
And now let's take a look at some of our viewer pictures.
Matt Watson from Easton and some friends had a good time fishing for catfish recently at Kingston Landing. The fellows were using peeler crabs to haul up a tailgate full of catfish, plus 1 white perch. Jimmy Alexander sent this picture via email and says he was cycling through Sussex County when he came across this box turtle. Check out the markings on its shell, and you'll see a near-perfect 33 in the middle. That's like Rolling Rock, right? Our friends at DelawareSurfFishing.com posted this picture to the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page. We've never seen a catch like this tiger shark.
So until next time, for my partner Mike Parker, I'm Captain Willie Dykes, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.
I like that beard, Willie. See that coming in very nicely.
Yeah,
Give up the helicopter, you give up shaving too.
something had to go.